Clayton more than Wildwood. Been waiting a long time for this one. Clayton looking forward to it after having their perfect season, 24-0 last season, coming in this game, losing only to Wildwood.
Both teams ready, I think. Mike, Wildwood, winner of 19 in a row. Of course, Clayton running through the Tri-County Conference unbeaten for the second straight season. I think the difference this year might be the fact, Mike, that Clayton has played a lot tougher competition coming in. They scheduled the non-league games with Eastern of Washington and with Atlantic City, and although losing both times, gave good accounts of themselves. I thought played a strong game the other night, defeating Palmyra in a Group 1 semifinal. This is a team that's led, of course, by Al Anderson, the all-time single-season scoring leader in South Jersey, averaging just under 30 points a game. Granger Hall, the fine 6'8" senior, one of the top rebounders in the area, and very good balance right down through the lineup. Wildwood, no slouch either, of course, led by Bertie McNeil, one of the fine guards in all of South Jersey. McNeil averaging 20 points a game, and a very veteran Wildwood team. All seniors down through their first 8. The classic matchup, and I think Clayton's a little more ready this year, Mike.
All right, the Clippers representing the Tri-County Conference. They won every game in that conference for the second year in a row. Wildwood coming in from the Cape Atlantic, they were undefeated in their conference play also. This should be a real classic. We'll be back with tonight's game after these messages.
Millville High School, Bob Shyrock with Mike Lindner. We're bringing you the South Jersey Group 1 final between Clayton High School and Wildwood, a rematch of last year's final one, 64-55 by Wildwood. And we're getting ready for the introductions of the starting players. Bernie McCracken, the veteran coach of Wildwood High School. Tom Ennis in his second outstanding season as the head coach at Clayton.
Quite a crowd here tonight, Bob. The Clayton people, last year, first trip to the South Jersey Championship ever, having never won a sectional crown in basketball. They sat here, I think, around 500 of them, not making that much noise. This week, tickets went on sale in advance, and 600 or 700 of them were scoffed up in a day or two. They're ready to explode tonight. They won a state championship, and in order to do that, they're going to have to get through the South Jersey finals first.
Clayton, the home team. Wildwood will be introduced first. And an outstanding Wildwood team it is. All senior starting lineup. The first 3 subs also seniors. Bertie McNeil introduced first. 1,400 career points, one of the outstanding guards in South Jersey. Number 21, Bertie McNeil. Bucky McCracken, head coach Bernie McCracken's son. Bucky averaging 6 points a game, the quarterback of this Wildwood team. B.J. Jones, number 33, 6'5" jumping jack, averaging 12 points a game for the Warriors. Art Bakanowski, number 53, 6'4", 12-point scoring average. And number 35, Kirk Gaines, a 6'1" senior, averaging 7 points a game. That's the starting lineup for the Wildwood Warriors. And now Clayton High School about to be introduced.
Now you're beginning to hear that Clayton High School crowd, Bob.
And they could be a factor tonight. Second trip in a row to the state group finals by Clayton High School. They've lost 3 games this season, only 1 all last year, that too Wildwood, and they're trying to avenge that loss tonight. Al Anderson introduced first. Al Anderson averaging just under 30 points a game, all-time single-season scoring leader in South Jersey basketball history. And Granger Hall, the big man, 6'8" Granger, number 42. Carl Jackson, the junior quarterback of the Clayton team, number 12, one of the outstanding defensive players in the area. Dave Williams played a key role in the victory over Palmyra in the semifinals. Williams, number 34. And the premier corner shooter, Gary Osborne, number 14. That's the starting lineup for the Clayton Clippers. And Mike, you can feel the electricity in the air.
It's going to be a good game. If any of the basketball observers you've talked to all over South Jersey, they've been waiting for this one all year long. Clayton, of course, assumed they were going to make it to the South Jersey finals. They have that much confidence this year. Tom Ennis pretty much picked out his opponents, Palmyra or Wildwood. As the seeding turned out, they had to get through Palmyra, of course, to get to the finals. They did that last week. winning 72-68 over Palmyra. But Wildwood was the team he really thought he'd see. Sent scouts down 8 times to look at this Warrior club. Thinks he knows just what he wants to do against them. Look for Clayton to be changing defenses all night long. Maybe a box and one, and a surprise there if they do. Don't expect to see them put that man-to-man defense on McNeil, the high scorer. Expect to see it to go to McCracken. McCracken, the guard who runs things. They want to disrupt that offense. Clayton, of course, looking to pick up their first victory this year against a Wildwood team, having lost earlier in the season against Wildwood Catholic. Second game of the year. We're about ready to have the tap-off. Our officials tonight, Joe Eichhorn and Tom Lopes. They're North Jersey officials. Eichhorn tips it up, and Clayton continues to control the center tap. Carl Jackson being played by McNeil. It's a man-to-man defense for Wildwood. We expect to see them running that most of the night. Williams has the ball knocked away and stolen by McNeil. McNeil goes on Jackson, lays it up, and Wildwood's out with a 2-point lead. They don't meet them full court. Wildwood, the Warriors picking up at half court. Jackson will have to be wary against McNeil. Great scorer, but a tremendous defensive player also. Jackson goes all the way under. He hits the side of the board. Anderson has a chance at a free layup. The ball goes off his hands, but the official says it's going to be gold ball. The Clippers will take it off out underneath.
It looked like it was off Anderson.
Anderson to Jackson in the corner. Anderson has it, and let's see if we get an offensive call. Yes, offensive fouls. Jackson knocks into Bernie McCracken. Bucky McCracken, check it, of course. Bucky, the son of Bernie McCracken, the head coach at Wildwood. Anderson drawing foul number 1 in the ball game. McCracken now being played by Osborne. Wait and see if it is the box. He's going to stay with McCracken all over the place. McNeil will have it at the top of the key. He'll miss, and Hall will take down the rebound. And Anderson will run. He'll look for Osborne in the corner. Osborne played tightly by McCracken. David Williams on the turnaround, 4-footer. He misses. And it's going to be a foul inside. And quickly, let's see who the call's on. 42, Granger Hall. So Hall and Anderson, the big men for Clayton, both pick up their first foul early. 6:58 to play. We've played just over a minute. Wildwood on top 2-0. Clayton setting up. It's going to be a box. McCracken now. It's going to be a man open underneath. And he's going to make the shot. So Kurt Gaines.
Great pass from McNeil on that play.
And Wildwood quickly out to a 4-point lead. Of course, Clayton, knowing they're going to have the man, they want to set up and let Anderson operate one-on-one. They think he's the best in South Jersey. We've seen him a number of times, and he showed us that he's an awfully good one if he isn't the best. And he picks up, draws a foul. Gaines from Wildwood. Non-shooting situation. Jackson to Anderson again. Let's see if Ennis has them clear out. That's what they're going to do. They're going to clear out. Hall will stay deep. Anderson will work on Gaines. He's going to take the jumper and drop it. So the leading scorer in South Jersey in history, 720-point single-season point production, has his first 2 of the
Almost
game.
impossible to stop one-on-one. One of the finest one-on-one basketball players we've seen in many years in South Jersey.
McNeil works with Gaines. And it's going to be a miss. B.J. Jones unable to get it, but there's a steal. Bakanowski steals the ball, gets it to McNeil underneath. And that one's going to hurt. Anytime you give away points in a close ball game, it's going to hurt you in the long run. 6-2 Wildwood.
Great play by Bakanowski behind his back pass. Tremendous play.
Anderson misses, gets the rebound, tries to stick it up underneath. Hall gets the rebound and tries to score and doesn't. So Clayton with 3 chances. Unable to get it. Bakanowski fouling Granger Hall. Bakanowski's first foul.
2 on each team. Anderson and Hall for Clayton, Bakanowski and Gaines for Wildwood.
So just the kind of tempo we expected. Neither team holding anything back tonight. That'll bring the Clippers within 3. And in and out. Bakanowski has it over to McCracken, nearly loses it. Now Jackson, or Osborne again, playing McCracken all over the place. Gaines going to work the Bakanowski inside, and we'll have a second foul on Granger Hall. So Joe Eichhorn calling them tight. First time we've seen this, Bob, where the NJSIAA has switched officials. sending the South Jersey officials north, bringing the North Jersey men down.
I want to talk to the official about who the foul was on. It was on Granger Hall. That's his second, and one more could put Clayton in a lot of trouble early, Mike.
Bakanowski trying to get it inside. Takes the pass from McNeil, but it goes off his hands, and the Clippers get it and a chance to come within one. Now we see some pressure, full court. Anderson has it. Gaines has the assignment. Kirk Gaines, 6'1" senior.
That's clearing out again, Mike. That's the game plan, to let Anderson go one-on-one with Gaines.
And he misses. It's around the rim and out. And it's Jackson with the steal. He tries to save. He does. Hall has it underneath. Looking for room to operate. He can't get it. And we're going to get a jump ball. So it'll be Granger Hall and Kirk Gaines. And Anderson jockeying with B.J. Jones for position. That'll take a while. Ike Warren now says they're ready. Hall taps it back to David Williams. Williams right up with the jumper and drops it in, and they need scoring from him.
That's what he did against Pelmeyer in the semifinals. Kept Clayton in the ball game in the first period with that kind of shooting.
We're right past the 5-minute mark now. 1 point difference, 6-5, the Warriors on top. Jones operating against Jackson. Then Hall knocks it away. And Anderson takes the rebound. Good defense by the Clippers. Osborne fakes and drops it in. He loves it. Gary Osborne. We'll have to talk about him later. Made a trip to the dentist this week. Thinks he may have found what happened to him in his shooting slump he's had over the last 3 games. Jones back to McCracken. McCracken nearly loses it. Osborne's all over him. Now McNeil. Jackson. Whoa, we've got a walk and a violation. It'll go the other way.
There's that good defense by Carl Jackson. Really an underrated ball player because of his tremendous defense. Got perfect position.
Now Steve Ransom in the game for Wildwood, number 41. He's playing Anderson man-to-man.
Looks like they're going to alternate men on Anderson 1-to-1, giving Gaines some rest now.
Jackson's going to go all the way to the hoop. He's up and misses, and there's a fight underneath, and Jones controls it, and Jackson's going for a foul reaching in. Tom Loops points to Carl Jackson. Carl doesn't like it, but he walks away. Now it's going to be full court pressure by the Clippers. Hall coming down is going to bother McCracken underneath, trying to throw the ball in. McNeil has it. He's going to be doubled by Jackson and Hall, but he gets away, going to go all the way down. He slips, slides, and his second violation in a row, and they're lucky there that he didn't do something to his ankle. Very close to an injury. Jackson now. McNeil against Jackson. Jackson still wants to get the ball to Anderson. Not going to be able to do it yet. Now Al has it. Now looking for Dave Williams. Williams again from outside. He misses this time, and Wildwood controls the tap. Steve Ransom takes it right away. They go to McNeil. That's the guy they want with the ball. McNeil or McCracken. McNeil at the top of the key. He's off. David Williams with the rebound. Anderson has it right full court this time. Looking over to Ennis. Tom Ennis gives him what he wants. I've got the call. Anderson gets it back. Looks over to David Williams. Williams again rifles up. Misses one more time. There's just nobody underneath there for rebounding help. McCracken now. Osborne, remember, playing him man-to-man. Jackson matches up with McNeil. Granger Hall knocks Ransom's pass away, and Wildwood will have it. Now Gaines comes back in the game. This time B.J. Jones goes to the bench. So Bernie McCracken doing a lot of early substituting. McCracken goes to the far corner. That's where McNeil wants it. He can't get it, but look at that recovery by Ransom. Steve Ransom picks up 2 more points, and they're back up by 8-7. 2:50 to play in the first period. Ennis up off his feet calling plays. Osborne takes it down on Bakanowski. Up on the baseline, gets the jump, and Bakanowski picks up his second foul.
That's 2 on Bakanowski, that's right.
So Granger Hall, the big man for Clayton, 6'8", has 2 fouls on him, and Bakanowski, 6'4", senior for Wildwood, picks up his second foul.
Steve Ranson, number 41 for Wildwood, the substitute in the game early to play Anderson one-on-one, is really doing a good job of denying Anderson the ball at this stage of the first period.
We're tied with 2:38 to play. The Clippers up by 1. Full court pressure again. McCracken has it. He looks up. It's McNeil. It's going to be a 2-on-1. It's up to Carl Jackson. McNeil takes it in and drops in 2. He's a real shooter, Bob.
He's got 6 already, Mike. 3 for 5 from the floor.
Anderson wants to work one-on-one. He's got to get the ball from Jackson first. Carl goes to Gary Osborne instead. And we're going to have a foul reaching in McNeil. McNeil playing Jackson. He already beat him for 1 steal in the early going. First couple of minutes. He tries to pick up another one. Gets whistled for the foul instead.
14 fouls each way. Next one, and we're in a shooting situation. Anderson has not scored since Ransom came in the game to play him head up.
Jackson takes Osborne's inbound pass. And he's going to rifle it up himself. He misses. It's off, but he gets the rebound, and he walks. Looked at David Williams, thought it was a Wildwood player. Too late. By then, he'd made the violation, and Wildwood takes over. Could have been a big break for the Clippers. Jones looks to McCracken and gets it to him. They come back to McNeil on the soft side. Jackson knocks the ball away beautifully. Great defensive play. Anderson gets the short shot. Brings it down himself. Ransom's all over him, just playing him like glue, and there's another mistake. The Wildwood shows up with the ball again. McNeil wants to go all the way. He looks underneath, hits Granger Hall right in the face with the ball. Clayton gets it. Hall looks like he's all right. Jackson operating. Goes to David Williams. Back out to Osborne. He has it at the top of the key, and he's no good. Hall fighting for the rebound. Ransom has it in a game, and McNeil, the beautiful pass to McCracken. And Anderson knocks McCracken out underneath. And Anderson has his second foul.
So Al Anderson and Granger Hall, the outstanding 1-2 scoring punch for the Clippers, both in first period minor foul trouble with 2 personals each. The third one would force Tom Ennis into a decision whether he wanted to keep them in the rest of the half.
Bucky McCracken only averages 6.5 points a game, but he's the quarterback, the field general. He runs the show, sets up the offensive pattern. And he drops in 2 fouls, and they've got a 3-point lead with 1:14 on the clock. Full court pressure this time. They're trapping in the corner. And B.J. Jones sticks out a knee, gets his first foul. That should be 5 in a 1-on-1 situation. Let's see if we have the count right.
Both teams in a 1-on-1.
Now, official says no. Now he says yes. There for a minute, Bob. We'll wait and see before we get
Well, that's a 5th foul. It should be a shooting situation.
Yes. So Bob Shyrock right again.
First time this year.
I thought it was the second time. I remember he showed up at the first game at the right place. Carl Jackson, the only starting junior on Tom Ennis's club. He was here last year, suffered through a miserable night at the foul line, and is unable to connect on his first opportunity tonight. McCracken looks all the way down for McNeil, finds him in the air, no good, but they're going to get the rebound. Gaines gets out of the 3-second lane and gets 2 points. So opportunistically, Wildwood has made 6 points on offensive rebounds, and they're up by 5, 14-9, under a minute to play. Anderson cradles the ball.
They'll clear out again for him.
Osborne has it. Looks back to Anderson, and Ransom is doing a great job on him.
Oh, he has. Anderson has still not scored with Ransom playing him.
They go to Hall and try to do it inside. Hall is unable to get it. Hall fights for the rebound. It looks like it goes off McNeil. Let's see what they call. Yes, off Birdie McNeil.
Interesting statistic, Mike. That's Granger Hall's first shot.
So they're going to have to crank him up and get him into the offense. 20-point-a-game average, Granger Hall. They've got to get scoring from him. They have to get it from Osborne and, of course, from Anderson. Anderson's turn. And Anderson tries to bring him back. Hall's going to do it, and he brings it to 14-11. 12 seconds to go. They're down by 3. Wildwood will play for 1. Jackson will have McNeil. McNeil goes to Gaines. Gaines has it knocked away by Hall. It's going to go out of bounds. 2 seconds on the clock. Clayton will try and deny Wildwood a last shot.
Great defensive play by Granger Hall. They got to get it off quickly.
They'll probably bring it right back to McNeil. Let's see. Yes, right back to McNeil, and he's going to miss. So it'll end the first quarter. The Warriors from Wildwood on top. 14-11. We'll be back with second period action after this message.
Millville High School, Bob Shyrock with Mike Lindner. We finished one period of the South Jersey Group 1 final between Clayton and Wildwood, defending group champion with a 14-11 lead. Bernie McNeil, their 1,400-point career scorer with 6 first-period points. Al Anderson only has 2 for the Clippers, as he has been played head up first by Kurt Gaines and then by his substitute, Steve Ransom. Anderson has not scored, and Ransom is doing an outstanding job of denying Al Anderson the ball.
Good Wildwood team. 2 losses this season. Lost to Woodrow Wilson from Camden by 2 points. Lost to Mainland Regional, big Group 3 school in overtime. One of the Warriors missing a foul shot that would have sent him the second time around. And Hall, but McNeil's going to get it. Looked like he knew where he'd tap it. And he throws it up, and McNeil, no wonder he has that 1,400 points. What an offensive player.
He has some great moves. Very quick. Excellent court sense.
Wildwood still in the man-to-man. They're fronting Hall. Bakanowski fronting him. There's David Williams, and Williams gets his second basket. 16-12, or 13. 16-13. 7:29 to play, second quarter. Gaines looks to Bakanowski. Bakanowski wants to go on Anderson, and he misses it. Hall grabs the rebound. Jackson looks up court. Wants to go to Osborne, can't find him open. He takes the shot himself. He misses. Bakanowski, a bull on the boards. Osborne still playing McCracken. Ransom goes inside, and there's going to be a reaching in foul. McNeil going for the shot. David Williams reaches in and grabs his arm.
Good pass by Ransom setting up that play.
Well, the strategy so far defensively, Bob, as we pointed out what we expected, they're going man-to-man on McCracken, trying to deny him the ability to run that offense as B.J. Jones comes in, replacing Ransom. Jones wearing 33, but the way McNeil's been scoring, I don't know if that strategy is working out. They might want to think about putting somebody on him head-to-head.
Well, McNeil already with 9 points.
Oh, look at that rebound by Gaines, and the missed shot. He goes up and down. Hall just denies him the ability to shoot. So with the 4-point lead, the Clippers, 4-point lead for the Warriors, the Clippers will come down court. Jackson now playing catch with David Williams out front.
Gaines back on Anderson.
Now
Anderson did not
Osborne.
score with Ransom on him.
Look at his shot. Osborne, instead of taking the jumper, which is his patented play, drives to the basket, throws in an 8-footer. Brings the Clippers within 2. Now Gaines. Gaines to McNeil. McNeil wants to go in. Looks underneath the Bakanowski, and he gets it. McNeil can pass. McNeil can shoot. McNeil can play.
Yeah, he is a tremendous player. One of the best we've seen all season. Can do everything.
Osborne again. McCracken's going to play him. Jones on Williams. 3 seconds on Granger Hall inside in the lane. Tom Lukes makes the call. Wildwood will take over and have a chance to open up a 6-point lead. This is the part of the game, of course, although early, 6:09 to play in the first half. Oh, what is the call? Must have been a foul shot. We're going to change that. It wasn't a violation. Granger Hall
That was
picks up
3.
his third.
That's 3 on Granger.
And he pushed Mark Bakanowski, and Bakanowski will go to the line. Tom Ennis is going to substitute immediately. If he can get the buzzer, he does. And Len Hall will come in. Granger Hall, much like he had to at Palmyra the other night, Bob, is going to have to go to the bench.
Well, they need Granger in there very badly for his board work. He had 4 rebounds so far.
Bakanowski opens up the 5-point lead, 20-15. And he's dropped in both of them. Now full court pressure. Jackson's going to be doubled. He gets it by. Goes to David Williams. Williams wants the jumper. No good. Len Hall follows it up, though. Good little body action by Len Hall underneath. Wasn't seen. Got the rebound and dropped in, too. Gaines knocked away by Hall. So Hall's making himself felt. 3 seconds should be called, but it isn't. As Anderson knocks it away.
That's some great defensive plays. First by Len Hall, then by Al Anderson.
Yeah, a little tempers underneath. Anderson, Williams, and McNeil having a catch with the ball back and forth. Joe Eichhorn and Tom Lopes will talk to him about that. Quiet things down. Try to anyway. McCracken will wind up with the ball set at the play. Who else but McNeil? And then inside, it's another one knocked away. So Anderson playing tough even with the 2 fouls. Wildwood fans don't like it. They thought there was a foul. McCracken will try and go the other way this time. Find McNeil on the other side. He does, and we'll get the whistle. He'll throw it up, and Len Hall will be charged with the violation. So McNeil will go to the line.
Well, he is an excellent offensive player with great moves, and he has that ability to hang in the air, draw the foul.
Unevenly played game so far, Bob. A lot of violations for a final. Uncharacteristically, he misses. Second one gives them a 5-point lead again. Jackson having trouble, goes to Anderson. Anderson's going to go all the way to Len Hall. Hall shot missed. Look at the rebound by Jones. McCracken to McNeil. McNeil tries to draw the foul. As a result, misses the layup. An easy 2 points. Len Hall hurt the ankle. He's limping behind Anderson as Anderson crosses. Goes to Williams. Anderson gets the ball, goes up, and drops in 2. But they're going to have to look. Tom Ennis is going to have to find Lenny Hall, who's limping up and down the court.
Only the second field goal of the night for Al Anderson. 30-point average, 4 points so far.
McNeil's going to drive, look underneath the Bakanowski, and draw a foul on David Williams. So McNeil knows he's being played. He's seen it all year long. Most of the season, he's seen a man on him all the way all night. He knows there's somebody open. He finds Bakanowski underneath and a chance for Bakanowski's second 3-point play.
Well, McNeil, a complete all-around player, but Mike, the thing that impresses me so far about him tonight is his court sense. He is an outstanding passer.
He's also got somewhat of a temper. He and Jackson now going at it. He went at it earlier with David Williams, and he had words with Al Anderson.
Well, Len Hall limping to the bench. He came in to replace Granger Hall when Granger went out with 3 personals. Now Tom Ennis forced to go deeper into his bench.
Going to go to Conley. Jeff Conley, number 24, will come into the game.
So Granger Hall on the bench with 3 personals. His replacement, Len Hall, now off, limping with an injury. And some pressure on Jeff Conley's shoulders.
Three-pointer, 25-19, 4:51 to play. Anderson called for traveling. He thought he was fouled. Couldn't believe the call himself. Lopes gives the ball to McCracken and quickly gets it into McNeil. Gaines turns and drops in 2 points. 27-19. It's an 8-point difference, and Ennis may want to think timeout pretty soon.
Gaines 3 for 3.
Osborne wants to fire it up from his favorite spot and misses. McNeil has it. He's got the break running. They're going to run. There's Bakanowski coming in from
what
the
a pass.
corner.
He is unbelievable.
And that's a 10-point difference, and Tom Ennis says now, timeout. Wildwood fans going crazy. 29-19, 4:20 to play. Clayton no choice but to call a timeout.
Wildwood led by 3 at the quarter, 14-11. Clayton came back within 2 on an Osborne basket to make it 17-15. But at 22-19, after an Anderson bucket, only his second of the night, Wildwood since then has run off 7 points in a row. A three-pointer by Bakanowski, a shot from the key by Gaines that was good, and Bakanowski again on another beautiful field for McNeil. 7 points in a row as we watch the Wildwood huddle. 29-19 on that 7-point run for Wildwood. They really look good, Mike. And now Tom Ennis, Al Anderson talking to the official. Clayton in some trouble. They're down 10. Their big man, Granger Hall, on the bench with 3 personals. Going to have to regroup, Mike. They've shown us they can come back. They came from 15 down against Fusion of Washington, almost pulled it out.
Well, let's see how they try and do it. Now Wildwood into a zone, a 1-2-2 zone. Osborne tries to shoot over it and does. 8 points separating the teams now. McCracken gets it from Jones. And look at a follow-up by Kirk Gaines. Kirk Gaines opens the lead back up to 10 points. 1-2-2 zone.
Gaines 4 for 4 from the floor and the leading rebounder in the game.
Osborne again. He misses this time. Anderson takes the rebound. He's going to jump shot and good. And it's going to go. And Jones is going to be whistled. B.J. Jones. 2 fouls.
Only the 3rd field goal of the night for Al Anderson.
Chance for a 3-point play. Bring him back within 8. Then he doesn't. Ball just spins out of that rim. Osborne playing McCracken tight. He's been that way all night long since the opening whistle. Now McNeil. Now Jackson has him. They go to Gaines. It's going to be a turnover. It'll be a 3. Osborne has it. Looks for Carl. Carl has it. Takes it and makes it. Wildwood fans think foul. McNeil thinks it. Eichhorn says incidental contact. Now Wildwood calls a timeout. So 31-25. They're back within 6. 3:07 to play. Wildwood on a 21-game winning streak. Tops in South Jersey are equal to Camden and Atlantic City, who met earlier today in the other action. All Group 2, 3, and 4 action completed. Congratulations go to Mainland Regional from Linwood. Won in overtime over Woodrow Wilson. Haddon Heights defeated Salem today, 57-50, and Camden with a big victory over Atlantic City. I didn't get the final, Bob, but I understand something like 20 points. What an upset. At least
well, of course, Atlantic City, number 1 team in the state, according to most pollsters, as we watch the Clayton huddle. And Camden's outstanding junior guard, Wagner, with 20 first-half points to really give Camden that springboard to an easy victory over Atlantic City. And we were very impressed with Atlantic City and his win over Clayton earlier this season. But his big men got into some foul trouble and negated their efforts on the backboards.
Look, Coach Turner from Camden felt they had played tougher competition all year long than Atlantic City. And interesting because that's what Tom Ennis planned as he scheduled Atlantic City and Eastern of Washington, D.C. and Wildwood Catholic to try and get him ready for this game with Wildwood as they run. Jackson getting down on McCracken. Goes around him. McCracken called for reaching in. First foul on the coach's son. Bucky McCracken. Senior, averaging only 6.5 points a game, but his father, Bernie McCracken, came to Wildwood as a young teacher and assistant coach. Year Bucky was born. Now, 17 years later, here he is as a senior playing for his father for a great Wildwood team as Jackson makes his first.
Clayton was down by 10. Basket by Anderson, then Jackson, and now Jackson with one foul shot, cut it to 5.
There's a fight for the rebound, and Conley comes up with it. Jackson gets the ball from him. Jackson's trying to operate on McNeil. Boy, the pushing's getting tough in tight as David Williams fires over his defender. Well, 31-28, and all of a sudden the Clippers, who were down by 10, have it within 3. Jackson's got the assignment on McNeil. Williams again called for a foul as Kirk Gaines comes across the middle of the lane. Eichhorn and Lopes may have taken a long trip, Bob, but that sure hasn't slowed them down. They're right in the game, calling a good one so far. Nobody getting away with anything.
Kirk Gaines at the foul line. He hasn't missed a shot yet. 4 for 4 from the floor.
Another one of the seniors. First 8 players for Wildwood seniors. He misses that one. Conley gets the rebound and gets it to Jackson. He'll set up the offense. Wildwood now back in the man-to-man. They went into the zone when they had the 10-point lead. Jackson goes over, listens to Ennis. Ennis tells him what he wants. He's going to try and work McNeil. He gets the opener for the jumper and misses. Bakanowski and McCracken fighting their own men. McCracken comes away with it. Osborne's still on him. Now Jackson's playing McNeil. So it's a triangle and 2 now. Jackson forces McNeil away from the basket, but he still drops in the basket. 33-28.
And that ended a run of 7 straight Clayton points.
Now Anderson. The Clippers clear out. Ransom still doing a good job on him. He finds Williams. Williams turns around and shoots. David Williams doing a great job for him again tonight, just like he did at Palmyra.
4th basket for Williams.
And Williams steals it again. Can he save it? No, it's going to go out of bounds. So Williams is all over the court. We're going to go back to Len Hall now coming in the game. He's in there for Williams.
And he's limping badly, Mike.
Well, how many fouls on Dave Williams? Just the one? I
Only
thought maybe
one.
he went to the bench for that reason. Has a miss, and look at Bakanowski come down the lane. He knocks into Len Hall, already having problems limping, and he picks up his 3rd foul. McCracken right away going to have to substitute. B.J. Jones, who was coming in for somebody else, he's going to change and come in for Bakanowski. So remember, Granger Hall's on the bench with 3 fouls for the Clippers. Now Bakanowski is on the bench for Wildwood.
Dave Williams getting a break, and he has really done another outstanding job tonight. Seems to play his best games in the big ones, Mike.
Gary Osborne, 1-1. If he gets this one, the Clippers will be back by 1, 33-32, and around 2 minutes ago, nobody would have bet on that. Wildwood opening up the 10-point lead. That's what he does. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Clayton down by a point, 33-32, full court pressure.
Clayton has scored 11 of the last 13 points in this game.
It's a triangle. Osborne on McCracken, Jackson on McNeil. That'll leave Gaines open. He's going to have to hit to get him out of that. Anderson tries. Ransom looked like he knocked it away, but Joe Eichhorn says, I don't know, so let's jump it up. Al Anderson, Steve Ransom, jump ball. Anderson to Osborne. Well, they'd like to see a basket very quick here. Nearly stolen by McNeil, just gets knocked to Jackson. Jackson and Anderson. To Osborne instead. Osborne falls down, loses the ball, gets it. Oh, all kinds of body contact. McCracken took one right in the forehead.
He got it from Ransom, his
Right.
teammate, too.
Right, Ransom came down fighting for the loose ball and hit McCracken. Where'd he get it? The jaw, the teeth, the nose, or the forehead? Somewhere in the face he got it. Clayton probably hoping it was the shooting eye. No serious injury. Ransom's going to step in and jump against Osborne. Nope, it's going to be McCracken. Under a minute now, 52 seconds to go in the first half. Wildwood still has a 1-point lead. There's McNeil. Looks underneath. They got to start playing basketball underneath as Kirk Gaines gets, what's that, I think the 4th time they've had an uncontested layup underneath.
Again, McNeil finds the open man. Tremendous passer.
Half a minute to play in the first half. Clayton ball. McCracken knocks it away. Out of bounds. Osborne to Jackson. McNeil gives Jackson the baseline, but he's knocked out underneath. McNeil, 21. Bertie McNeil, the big scorer for Wildwood, gets called for his 2nd foul. Will put Carl Jackson on the line. 23 seconds to play. Jackson again with the 2 shots will have a chance to bring the Clayton team within 1. Jackson last year about 4 for 13 from the foul line in his South Jersey final against Wildwood. And he's having the same kind of trouble tonight.
Maybe he's remembering last year.
Well, he better forget it if the Clippers are going to hang tight.
They'll look for the last shot of the half.
12 seconds. Gaines has it.
8 seconds they have to penetrate.
And McNeil's going to get it. Of course, that's who they'd like to see shoot it. He does. And he's perfect. With 1 second to go, he puts them up by 5 points, 37-32 at halftime. We'll be back after these messages with halftime statistics.
Bob Shyrock and Mike Lindner back at Millville High School. We're at halftime of the Clayton Wildwood game for the South Jersey Group 1 Championship. Wildwood with a 37-32 lead over the Clippers. On 2 different occasions in the second period, Wildwood built leads of 10 points. Clayton came back, however, to within 1 on 2 Gary Osborne foul shots to 33-32, but then a basket by Gaines, Kurt Gaines of Wildwood, and then a desperation 25-foot jump shot by Bertie McNeil just before the first half buzzer gave Wildwood its 5-point lead. Some interesting first half statistics. McNeil with 14 points to lead Wildwood. McNeil has 1,400 career points. Kurt Gaines has 8 for Wildwood. For Clayton High School, Gary Osborne and Dave Williams keeping the Clippers in the game offensively. Osborne with 10 first half points, Dave Williams with 8. Williams doing the job as he did against Palmyra in the semifinals. However, Williams went to the bench in the second period with 3 personals to join Granger Hall. Granger Hall also there with 3 personals. Granger Hall only had 3 points in the first half, and Al Anderson, the #1 scorer this season in South Jersey with just under a 30-point average, held the 6, and some outstanding defensive play by Steve Ransom on Anderson. Ransom coming off the bench, and Anderson not scoring while Ransom was on him during the first half of play. So 37 Wildwood, 32 Clayton. Halftime, Wildwood trying to defeat Clippers for the South Jersey Group 1 Championship for the 2nd season in a row. We're watching Tom Ennis and the Clayton Clippers, and now back to Mike Lindner for a play-by-play of the second half.
The Clippers, of course, building their schedule this season. Didn't feel they were ready last year, even though they came into the game, the same game last year, South Jersey Finals, Group 1 against Wildwood, 24-0. Looking this year to be ready. It cost them maybe a better record and a better seeding situation, 23-3 coming in down here, and they're going to jump it again. Nobody hit it on the way up, so we'll have to go again. Joe Eichhorn, Tom Lopes, the officials. Eichhorn tossing it up. We've got 16 minutes of regulation to try and show they're the best Group 1 team in South Jersey. This time Hall gets the tap. Wildwood back in their man-to-man defense. Osborne gets it from Jackson and exchanges positions, and Jackson goes to the baseline, fires up, he's long. Ball comes off to Jones. Jackson's going to hound Bertie McNeil to start the second half.
Jackson with a rough shooting night so far, 1 for 8.
There's a steal by Hall, but McNeil quickly comes back in, and a big foul's called by Joe Eichhorn, Bertie McNeil.
That's 3 on McNeil, and it looked like Granger Hall might draw his 4th, but it went the other way. A big call.
Granger Hall, of course, had the ball, didn't have full control, but McNeil called for the foul when he reached in and tried to take the ball away from Hall. Now McNeil with Jackson, and Jackson Osborne is open momentarily and finds the range. Brings the Clippers back within 3, 37-34, 7:16 to play in the third quarter. McCracken and McNeil in the backcourt. McCracken with the ball goes to B.J. Jones. McCracken takes a shot, misses. Foul underneath on David Williams, pushing off on Jones, and Williams has his 4th foul. Non-shooting situation. First team foul the second half on Clayton. Wildwood will set one up to McNeil. He loves to shoot from there. It's no good. Anderson takes it, looks down court. McNeil's there. And fortunately for somebody, There's no foul called as McNeil and Jackson go to a heat, but no, there's the call. Tom Lopes walking up court from underneath the Clayton basket, says he saw it, and it'll be McNeil's fourth foul. He's going to have to go to the bench. What a break for Clayton.
Only 1:03 into the third period. Bertie McNeil, 14 points on the bench with these 4 personals. That could be a big move for Clayton.
Joe Lee, number 13, a senior for Wildwood, comes in. He'll pick up Carl Jackson right away. Now they go to Granger Hall, tries to work underneath. Anderson can't get the rebound. Gaines has it. He wants to run. Looks to Lee. Lee, oh, it looked like a walk. And that's what the call's going to be. It was right in front of Tom Lopes. He didn't blow the whistle, but Ike Wern did at the other side of the court. Clayton now 6:40. This will be the quarter if they want to capitalize on McNeil's absence. I'd imagine McCracken will keep him on the bench for the rest of this quarter. McCracken plays Osborne. He turns on him and throws up the shot. Hall can't get the rebound. Osborne gets it, goes to Hall, and it's going to be an offensive foul. It'll be his 4th foul. Ransom draws the offensive foul from Granger Hall. Now Tom Ennis has a decision to make. Leave Hall in there when McNeil's out, or pull him out and wait. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to go with David Williams.
And Williams has 4. So an interesting move by Tom Ennis, but he's had to go deep into his bench tonight with Granger Hall getting into first half foul trouble. And Len Hall coming up with an injury as a replacement.
Clayton now in a 2-1-2 zone. In a zone. Gaines is going to be open. He'll shoot. He'll miss. Williams will take the rebound. Go over to Jackson. He's going to go long, and there's Gaines. Knocks the ball away as Jackson was looking for Anderson in the far corner. Wildwood still man-to-man. Conley to Jackson. Now they'll set up their offense against this man. Lee, the substitute for McNeil, draws Jackson. Jackson takes him in, tries to get the shot. He can't get it. Lee will get the rebound as it bounces out to the foul line.
Carl Jackson 1 for 9 from the floor tonight.
Off Dave Williams' leg. Ike Warren's going to give the ball to Wildwood. Lopes sees it that way also as Ike Warren comes out to confer with him. McCracken will set up the play. They're going to go long out to Ransom. Ransom wants McCracken to run the offense. Lee throws it away. Anderson gets it. Anderson's going to run. He's going to be slowed down with some good defense. Williams loses the ball. He's going to watch out or he'll get his foul. That's a miss. But Ransom hustles, gets the ball. There's a good pass, but it's going to be lost by Gaines. Knocked off Carl Jackson's legs. And we're going to get a substitution. The big man for Wildwood, Bakanowski's coming back in the game. B.J. Jones to the bench.
Mike, Wildwood has not scored in the third period. Clayton with only 2 points on the Osborne basket.
And we've played nearly 3 minutes. 5:18 to play. Ransom gets it. Now Wildwood gets their first basket. Ransom didn't start, but he's played a tremendous game. Just shut Al Anderson down completely. Osborne and Jackson still looking to get the ball to Anderson. Ransom playing him, fronting him now so they can't get it. Williams wants to shoot. He misses. Jackson can't get the rebound. Kurt Gaines has it. He wants to run. They're slowed down. Ransom gives it to McCracken, who'll start the play. Bucky McCracken. Ransom to Bakanowski from the baseline. And he drops it in. Right in out off the bench. And now the lead's back up to 7 points. 41 to 34.
Mike, they simply can't get the ball to Al Anderson. Now he's handling it out front.
And he gets his 2 points.
Only the 4th field goal of the night for Al Anderson.
Now they're running the offense against the zone. Remember, Clayton switched to the zone with Hall on the bench. And McCracken going to be called for traveling. 41-36. Osborne takes it down. Anderson wanted it. He wanted to operate one-on-one again with Ransom. Lee and Jackson. Now Anderson gets it. It's Anderson and Ransom. McCracken doubles up, reaches in, called for a foul. Second foul on Bucky. Of course, how many fouls, Bob, in the half? You have that? They're still not ready to shoot.
No. That's 3 team fouls in this half.
2 more, and they'll go to the line. Anderson gets it. Takes it to the baseline and shoots. It's no good. Williams with the rebound. It's knocked away by Bakanowski. Jackson, but it's going to be a walk. Jackson and Anderson grabbing for the ball underneath. They knew they were on the same team. If they had seen that, they wouldn't have had the problem. That kind of violation kills you. Now they'll come up and try and trap at half court. There is the mistake by the substitute, Lee. Lee in there for McNeil. Osborne has it. Osborne goes to Conley, to Jackson. Jackson fakes. Now shoots off the boards. No good, but look at Williams crash the board. No basket. Foul on Ransom.
That's a first on Ransom. Amazing he only has 1 foul with the defensive effort he's put forth tonight, playing Al Anderson one-on-one.
Well, they haven't been able to get the ball to Anderson, so he hasn't been able to draw the foul. They go outside to Osborne, to Jackson. Bakanowski now fronting Anderson underneath. Osborne, he's good from there. 41-38, 3 points, 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. McCracken being played by Osborne. Osborne's been on him all night. Gaines goes toward the baseline. He misses. Bakanowski has it. He's up. He misses. Gaines, he has it. He makes it. Good offensive rebounding by the Warriors. That's been hurting Clayton all night long. Wildwood getting the second, third, sometimes as many as 4 shots. Jackson wants to go all the way to the baseline, and he's going to miss the shot. Williams will follow, though. Or no, it's Conley. Check it. Jeff Conley with the basket. Clayton still sitting in a 2-1-2 zone. Ransom looks across to Gaines. Gaines hooked it up and in. Kirk Gaines. They're giving him too much room in the middle on that 2-1-2. Ransom staying full court with Anderson no matter where he is. He could hang down under the basket and he'd stay there instead of going down and play the other end. Anderson's going to still force the shot and miss. Williams again follows Bakanowski, knocks it back. McCracken goes around Anderson, and Anderson gets the ball. It'll be Lee, and it's going to be a foul. Is the basket any good? No. Eichhorn says way before the shot.
McCracken foul.
Well, that's lucky because that's 3 fouls on McCracken, and it could have just easily been either a walk or an offensive foul as Anderson went crashing into Lee. How many fouls on Anderson? That would have been his third, and he would have been in trouble. That should be 1-1. Again, as they did in the first half, the officials didn't say it, but it's going to put Anderson on the line.
Anderson with only 8 points, 22 under his average. But he's only managed 8 shots so far tonight. Anderson usually a shooting machine, and he simply has been denied the ball most of the night by Steve Ransom, who's done an outstanding job.
Tom Lotz over there talking to Tom Ennis and his assistant Ernie Johnson. Anderson comes over to get mopped off. Gives Bernie McCracken a chance to make a substitution. B.J. Jones, number 33, comes into the game, and they're going to go and put the guard, Joe Lee, substitute for Bernie McNeil, on the bench. So Wildwood's played real well considering McNeil's been on the bench, and it was a chance here for Clayton to get back into the game and perhaps jump up to a lead. Of course, they're still in the game, 45-40. Anderson a chance to bring them within 3 points. But a minute and 46 from now, McCracken's going to have to decide whether to go with McNeil at the outset of the quarter or to hold him back as long as they have the lead. The difference is now 4. Conley fights Gaines for the rebound, but Gaines comes away with it.
8 rebounds for Gaines. Great leaper.
Now we got the half-court pressure. Leaves Ransom open on the shoulder. He comes back to McCracken, or gets back to Ransom. Ransom does shoot, but it's going to be a walk. tried to draw the foul from Al Anderson. Instead, he had to travel. Now here's Ransom coming all the way down court to pick up Anderson. Now he falls off him 5 feet. He'll get closer as he crosses the timeline. Anderson tries to go around him, and Ransom will foul. Only the second foul on Steve Ransom. But this puts Al Anderson back on the line. Remember, he just made one of two. 2 more opportunities now. Oh, it's a 1-on-1 situation, and he misses the first. Carl Jackson called for a reaching in. His second foul. Bucky McCracken calls for help, expecting full court pressure. That's what he gets, and he gets it way across court to Kirk Gaines. Gaines nearly walks. Ransom gets it. He goes across. It's knocked away by Williams as they were looking for Jones. Jones knocks it away. Now there's Bakanowski and Gary Osborne going for the ball. Bakanowski owns the ball, but we're going to get a jump. Wildwood certainly hustles.
They're all over the floor. Both teams playing an outstanding game. And both teams doing it with key players on the bench. Granger Hall still over there with 4 for Clayton. Bertie McNeil, who had 14 first-half points, over there for Wildwood. They'll be both back in the game to start the fourth period.
It's certainly cleared out for Anderson. Bakanowski tries to double up on him as he misses. Bakanowski. Whoa, we've got a backcourt violation. Backcourt violation.
And Gaines knew it, too. He did that little leap, and there was nothing he could do about it. He saw the ball coming, and he didn't want it.
Clayton's calling for a technical foul. Joe Eichhorn thinks that they called timeout. They're going to be assessed a timeout here with only 44 seconds to play in the third quarter. Anytime a player takes a ball like that and slams it down, it can be read as disgust or disagreement with the call, and the referee's within his rights to call a technical.
Well, he was disgusted with the play of his team, not with the call. It was, of course, the right call. He was in the air, jumping over the line, and you can't do that because the player who catches the ball is still considered to be in the back court.
Bernie McCracken and his staff, 3 assistants with him tonight. Mike Carant, Greg Tracy, and would you believe Joe Bimbo. I think they were putting us on when they gave us those
Joe
names.
Bimbo, that's a real live person. Kirk Gaines really picking up the offensive slack for the Warriors tonight, Mike. He's only got a 7-point average. McNeil, Bakanowski, and Jones all averaging double figures. Gaines only averaging 7 on the season, but he has 7 field goals tonight as the leading scorer for the Warriors.
Clipper ball out on the side. Gary Osborne to toss it in. David Williams in the backcourt, uncontested. Goes to Gary Osborne. Maybe playing for one. It's got to be a good one. Clock is down to 20 seconds. 28, check it. Jackson takes it, misses, fights Bakanowski and takes the rebound. Gets it up in the air again. But Ransom does a good job on the boards and gets it up quickly to Gaines, who drives on Osborne, fires it up, puts it in. It's 47-41. 6 points with 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. David Williams. Williams from the foul line with the end of the third quarter brings Clayton back to 47-42. We'll be back after this message with fourth quarter action.
Fourth quarter action, South Jersey Group 1 final. Wildwood with a 47-43 lead over Clayton. Wildwood led by 5 at halftime, 37-32. Lost 1 point of that lead in the third with Bertie McNeil, their outstanding senior with 1,400 career points, going to the bench early in the third period with his 4th personal. Now Granger Hall checking back into the game, number 42 for Clayton. Granger has only 3 points tonight, a significant statistic so far, and 4 rebounds has not been that much of a factor. And Clayton needs a fine 4th performance fourth period performance by Granger Hall to pull this ball game out.
McNeil not starting for Wildwood. So Coach McCracken has decided to hold his man on the bench. Coach Ennis has decided to go with his in the game. 8 minutes to play in regulation. The Clippers down by 5. Neither one of them get the ball. They'll jump it again. 47-43. Clippers down by 4. Now we're going to have a double high post offense against this man. They're exchanging at the bottom. They get the ball to Anderson that way, and he turns and throws it up and gets a foul drawn. So Anderson will make a walk to the line again. Bucky McCracken called for his 4th foul. So both backcourt men for Wildwood in trouble now. McNeil, who's on the bench, has 4. Now McCracken, who runs everything for Wildwood, the son of Coach Bernie McCracken, has his 4th foul. He'll stay in the game. Interesting offensive change. They're going to work Anderson and Hall on one side as Anderson drops in his first foul, Bob. A double high post. Hall will go down and screen Anderson's man, and he'll come around and get the ball, turn for the jumper, and they'll look for the path back to Hall underneath if Anderson's covered. Anderson only getting 1 of 2, so he's had trouble at the line the last couple of times. 47-44. Ransom to Jones. To McCracken. McCracken driving all the way. He gets in uncontested as Granger Hall had to step out of his way.
Now, that's an amazing play with the 4 personal fouls to drive through the lane like that. Easily could have picked up his 5th foul for charging.
And the chance, of course, was to maybe get Hall out of the game as Jackson takes McCracken in. He's unable to. Wildwood own the boards, but Bakanowski this time with Ransom reaching in. So 3 times tonight we've seen players from the same team grabbing the ball and calls a walk. Clayton will get a break underneath. Jackson has it. Wildwood still man-to-man. Williams from way outside, and as he shot in the first quarter, brings them back.
Now, he's done the job. He's got 7 field goals tonight.
Jones doesn't want to shoot. Ransom doesn't want to shoot. Go look to McCracken. He goes to Gaines. Now Jones has it in close. He gets it over Hall. Hall's just not going to be able to play strong defense underneath. 51-48.
46.
46. That scoreboard's got all kinds of bulbs
Yeah, we
out
can't.
on it.
It's really hard to read the scoreboard. So McCracken and
Jackson keeps taking his man McCracken all the way in. This time he gets the basket. Now it's 48.
trying to draw that 5th on McCracken. McCracken and Jones having just scored their first field goals of the night for Wildwood.
Bakanowski gets the ball from McCracken, turns at the foul line, takes them up again by 5, 53-48, 6:19 to play in the 4th period. Again, they clear out for Jackson. He's going to go on McCracken again. He misses. And it'll be gold ball. Clayton ball underneath.
Mike Carl Jackson 2 for 15 from the floor tonight. That's Bernie McCracken, the Wildwood head coach.
Osborne hasn't shot in a while, gets it now, misses. Anderson underneath has the ball stripped from him by Bakanowski. A good play by Mark. Now, Father McCracken talking to son McCracken on the sideline. They get it straightened out. Cross the timeline, go to Jones. Jones takes a 16-footer and drops it in. So Jones, who doesn't normally shoot, opens up a 7-point lead for Wildwood.
Jones with his first 2 field goals of the night right here in the 4th period when Wildwood needs them the most.
And of course, remember, McNeil is still on the bench. Anderson has it. He's going to be short. He'll not be able to get the rebound. And this could really spell trouble for Clayton if the Warriors are able to score on this turn of events. This time down the court could be a real big one as McCracken goes by Osborne. Jones gets it into Bakanowski. And Bakanowski misses. Williams gets the rebound. He'll give it to Jackson. Clayton almost has to score, Bob.
5:05 to go. A lot of time left. Anderson taking Ransom down inside.
5-point difference. Now full court pressure.
Anderson finally over 10 points for the night. Still 20 under his average.
McCracken tries to go all the way again. Jackson gets it. Leads Osborne. Is he going to get it? And Osborne drops in 2. It's 55-52. And Wildwood calls the timeout. So does he go with McNeil now.
Yes, he's bringing McNeil in now. Number 21, Bertie McNeil, outstanding senior, 14 first half points, went to the bench in the third period early with his fourth personal. Now he's checking back in with 4:41 to play, and Wildwood with a precarious 3-point lead, 55-52.
A matchup of last year's South Jersey Group 1 final. Remember, Wildwood won that game 64-55. Clayton had a miserable night, nothing like their season where they went 24-0. Wildwood went on to defeat the Central Jersey champs, wound up in the state finals where they lost. Of course, the winner of this game to play 5 nights from now, 4 or 5, depending on when the state determines the game to be played, against the Central Jersey champions, and a chance to go to the state finals. Clayton, of course, has never gotten past this point. They've never won a sectional title in basketball. 4:41 to do it in regulation. Down by 3 points. Granger Hall, the big man for Clayton, 6'8", in with 4 fouls. Bertie McNeil, the 20-point-a-game man for Wildwood, now up off the bench and in the game. So both coaches going with everything they have now for the final stretch run. Wildwood's able to get it in. Hall up court. Osborne now gets McCracken. They wanted to double him. We'll get it over to Gaines. Remember, Jackson now is picking up McNeil man-to-man, and Osborne's picking up McCracken man-to-man. There's a foul. Jackson going for the steal, picks up the foul. And we've got a tennis ball out of the stands. Somebody better check that as it comes across. One of the Wildwood fans has a souvenir. McNeil gets it back court to Gaines. Gets it back as Jackson picks him up as he crosses the timeline. Clayton playing man all the way. Or a triangle too. We really can't tell until the other Wildwood men underneath make a move.
They're taking some air out of the ball, Mike. They want to eat up some clock. We're counting down to the 4-minute mark of regulation.
Now Clayton goes man-to-man as Gaines and McNeil have a problem. Jackson picks up his 4th foul. And now they'll go to the 1-on-1 line.
Bertie McNeil has not scored in the second half, mostly because he's been on the bench the entire second half after drawing that 4th personal just as the third period began. Now Bertie McNeil with 1,400 career points with a chance to add to the 3-point Wildwood lead.
Gets his first point. That's a big one as it opens the lead to 4 points. He gets them both. Under 4 minutes, 3:55 to play.
Now they've got Gaines on Anderson.
Anderson unable to get it. It'll be red ball off Granger Hall. No. Yes, that'll be the call. Clayton comes down full court, picking up all over the place. Wildwood just rolls. Anderson reaches in, tries to get the ball from Gaines, and he picks up the foul. Anderson's 3rd. Kirk Gaines will go to the line. 5-point lead.
Gaines has had a big night for Wildwood, 8 field goals, only averaging 7 points coming into this basketball game. Gaines with 16 points, trying to add to the 5-point Warrior lead.
Big rebound by Anderson at the miss. And they'll give it to him and let him work on Gaines again. He gets double and triple teamed and still gets the 2 points. Now they double. McNeil goes through him like it's nothing. Tries to pass underneath, saves the ball. 3 seconds. I was wondering if they were going to make that call. Jones was standing there waiting for the pass. It finally came. He still didn't get out of there. Then we got the whistle. 57-54, the Clippers can come within 1. As we hit the 3:08 mark. They're still clearing out for Anderson. This time he takes the jumper. It's no good. Fights for the rebound, instead picks up his 4th foul.
So now Anderson with 4, Granger Hall with 4, Carl Jackson with 4, and Dave Williams with 4. 4 of the 5 Clippers starters in foul trouble with 3:01 to play. And of course, Bertie McNeil and Bucky McCracken, the backcourt tandem for Wildwood, they also have 4 apiece.
Well, once more, it's Kirk Gaines. Played such a great game for Wildwood so far. He gets another chance. This time he converts the first of the one-on-one.
17 big points for Gaines. Getting some encouragement from Bertie McNeil.
He misses, but Bakanowski gets a big rebound. Jackson gets a big steal. And Anderson gets the ball. Going to be close to a jump, and that's what the call will be. 5 seconds, Kirk Gaines tying up Al Anderson, and they'll jump. Under 3 minutes, 2:49 to play, 4-point Wildwood lead.
Big jump ball here, Mike. If Wildwood can control this, he'll probably try to eat up some more clock with that 4-point lead.
Anderson gets it, but McNeil's going to steal it. McNeil's got McCracken underneath. He takes it himself. He misses, but there's going to be a foul. Foul's on Gary Osborne. Gary Osborne's first foul. Well, it's pressure time. 2:44, 58-54, 1-on-1 situation. It could be a 6-point lead when McNeil gets off the foul line. Bob Wildwood unbelievably has won the Group 1 or 2 championship sectional 18 times. Incredible record.
Yeah, they're a good-looking ball club, but Clayton certainly their match tonight. Gaines going out for a break for Wildwood, and Ransom back in. What a job Ransom has done defensively tonight.
Hall gets the rebound. So it'll only be a 5-point lead, but 5 points with 2:39 to play is awfully big. Jackson wanted to work the Hall. Can't get it to him. Anderson follows it up. It's going to be a 3-point play if he can drop the foul. Ransom fouls him. Anderson with a chance to make a 3-point play out of it.
Anderson is such a great all-around offensive player. Suspended himself in the air, got that rebound, put it back up, and gets fouled on the play. Chance for a 3-pointer. The score now 59-56 for Wildwood, so Anderson can cut the Wildwood lead to 2 points.
And then we're almost back where we started from at the beginning of this game. He's going to miss that one, and Jones goes up on the rim and gets the rebound. Ransom looks over to McCracken to run the offense, and they get it to Ransom to cross the timeline. Hall has to watch out. He's got 4. McCracken's out there on Jackson. He has 4. They find Bakanowski. Bakanowski called for a foul by Anderson. Is that going to be Anderson's 5th foul? Ennis wants a walk, but he's not going to get it.
I have 5 on Anderson, Mike.
He knows it. He's gone to the bench. So Tom Ennis has a big decision. Who's he going to reach to on the bench?
Well, you lose the #1 scorer in South Jersey with 2:12 to go in the state sectional championship game, and that's a big, big play.
Of course, he'll get 1 minute. Tom Lopes goes over, starts the clock to give him Ennis a minute to make his judgment. Clippers just walking around. Carl Jackson talking to Coach Ennis. Ennis talks to his assistants, Russ Puglia, Ernie Johnson. They're going to go with Conley. Jeff Conley. Jeff, the brother of Randy Conley, last year's leading scorer for Clayton. Conley had a bad game last year. Shot 4 for 22, Bob, in the South Jersey final. Now his brother, Jeff, gets a big moment as he comes in replacing Anderson. The Clippers down by 3, 2:12 to play. Mark Bakanowski at the line.
Big foul shot here in this first part of this 1-and-1.
And Mark makes it. He gets them both.
Now they have to look for somebody beside Anderson now, Mike. It changes a lot for Clayton in this situation. They might look for Granger Hall down inside now.
Bakanowski just owns the boards at this point in the game. They're going to go half court. McNeil has it. McNeil's gone to the line. He fakes Osborne. He takes the jumper, and he may have stalled it away. 63-56. Tom Ennis says timeout. 1:47 to play. Wildwood thinks they have it.
Mike Wildwood held Al Anderson to 16 points tonight, 14 below his average, with some outstanding defense in a box situation with first Kurt Gaines playing him and then Steve Ransom off the bench. And Mike, I think Ransom's defensive effort on Anderson might be the critical factor in the ball game so far. That and the fact that Granger Hall only has 3 points in this basketball
That's incredible.
game.
Granger Hall averaging just a little over 20 points a game. Been a dominant force on the backboards all year in any game. Played strongly against that huge duo from Atlantic City. Had a good night that night. Played well against Palmyra. He's just too good a player to have only 3 points unless somebody's playing phenomenal defense.
Well, Mikey only has 3 shots in the ball game. Of course, they haven't looked for him that much. The game plan has been to go to Anderson one-on-one, but then you have Carl Jackson shooting 16 times tonight, Mike. He's made 2 out of 16. That's a very critical statistic.
Remember last year, Conley, the leading scorer, shot 4 for 22. Jackson was 4 for 13 from the foul line. Anderson fouled out after just 15 of the 32 minutes being played. Same kind of trouble tonight for Clayton. Jackson goes all the way in. Needed a 3-point play. The only thing he's going to get is a chance to get 2 at the foul line.
Jackie Wilson in there now, the fine backup guard for Clayton, number 10. His first action tonight.
They'll have to go full court pressure, of course.
Mike, really, Dave Williams and Gary Osborne offensively have kept Clayton in this basketball game tonight.
Jackson makes 1. The difference is 6 points, 63 to 57. He makes them both. There can be no misses at this point. They're going to go long. It's going to go to McNeil. Can he save it? No. Clayton will take it down the other end. The ball should go down the other end.
That's right. That's a big, big play as McCracken threw the ball way over McNeil's head. Not a very smart play in that situation. With a 5-point lead, you certainly don't want to throw the ball away. So Clayton, which had trailed by 7, now can convert this into only a 3-point deficit.
We'll go long to Osborne. Back to Jackson. Jackson wants to drive on McCracken and take the shot. He makes it. A big basket. 63 to 60, and Wildwood calls timeout.
So Carl Jackson bringing Clayton back. First with 2 foul shots, then with a basket, as obviously Clayton now is going to Jackson one-on-one, trying to take McCracken inside, draw McCracken's 5th foul. So the Clippers, who looked like they might have been out of it just a few moments ago, down by 7, now trail only by 3, 63-60.
Oh, they'd love to have Al Anderson in there right now, but Granger Hall, Gary Osborne, Carl Jackson, Dave Williams, Jeff Conley. 4 of those 5 played most of the way all season long, most of the way last year. So they've been in this pressure situation before. Minute 28 with only 3 points difference is not that much. They've got to deny Wildwood, though, the chance to score this time down the court.
I think so, and of course Wildwood probably will be trying to have Bernie McNeil handle the ball. Excellent pressure player, good foul shooter, and they'll want him to be fouled in this situation. You go to your veterans when it gets tight, and I look for McNeil to handle the ball coming down, Mike.
Now Jackson will have to watch McNeil breaking long again. McNeil will have it. That's who they're going to give it to, and he's going to take it all the way himself. He nearly loses it. Jackson steals the ball. Jackson goes all the way in. A good pass to Wilson, but it's knocked away. And what a defensive play by Bernie McNeil. Where's the fouls? And on Carl Jackson, let's see. We'll have to wait and see who that foul's called on. Nearly a great play by Carl Jackson. Well, it was a great play.
Jackson is just a great defensive basketball player. We've been saying it all season long on Channel 5, and he almost made the play that got Clayton within 1 point there.
And the big defensive play, it was matched at the other end by McNeil. Is it on Granger Hall? Hall's shaking his head, and he's going to go off. Robert Washington, number 40, is up off the bench. He's going to replace Granger Hall, and this really makes it tough for Clayton. It'll be Jackson, Carl Jackson, David Williams, Jack Wilson, Robert Washington, and Gary Osborne.
Granger Hall leaves with 3 points and 5 rebounds.
Anyone would have told anybody else that would have been the outcome tonight, no matter who won the game. I don't think you could have drawn a bet on that one. Kurt Gaines been the big man all night long for Wildwood at the line again with a one-on-one. He misses it. Williams has it. Osborne gets it and gives it to Jackson. Jackson's going to try and Move right down the lane. He's going to try and take the shot. It's going to be stuffed back in his face, but Gaines is going to hit him with the body, and Carl goes to the line. Carl Jackson had such a horrible night last year in the South Jersey Finals. 4 for 13 from the foul line. Has a chance if he can make 2 to bring him within 1 point.
Jackson has scored the last 4 points of this basketball game. He's taking charge with Al Anderson on the bench. What a miracle it would be if Clayton would pull this out with both Al Anderson and Granger Hall on the bench.
Jackson gets the first. Osborne's going to have to watch himself. Might have been whistled for jumping in too quick. The adrenaline's got to be pumping though. They're down by a bucket. They're down by a point. Wildwood's got to get it in against the full court pressure of Clayton.
6 straight points for Carl Jackson.
And they're going to call a timeout. McCracken, smart heads-up play by the senior, son of the coach, Bucky McCracken, calls a timeout. Pressure's too great. 63-62, still over a minute to play.
Carl Jackson taking charge, Mike. They've been giving him the ball. He's been taking the guards inside. He scored the last 6 points of the basketball game. Wildwood on a basket by McNeil had gone up 63-56. Then Jackson back with the 2 foul shots. Then a field goal, then 2 more foul shots. And Jackson has made 4 for 4 from the line here. And remember, Carl Jackson not a good foul shooter. So with the pressure on, Carl Jackson has taken over for the Clayton Clippers. And we've got a ball game right down to the wire when it appeared that the Warriors might break it open at about the 2-minute mark of this basketball game. Tom Ennis, the outstanding Clayton coach, talking to his players. Remember, Al Anderson on the bench with 5 fouls. So is Granger Hall. Between them this season, Hall and Anderson averaged 52 points a game. No other 2 basketball players in South Jersey from the same team did anything like that. So Clayton trying to come back with a makeshift lineup. Jackie Wilson in the ball game. Bob Washington, number 40, has played very little all season long in the varsity uniform for the Clippers.
How they're going to look. McCracken's going to look. He gets it into who else but McNeil. To McCracken. Who to Gaines at half court. Gaines to McNeil. McNeil drives. He misses, but he's fouled underneath. Robert Washington with the foul. So McNeil will go to the line. 2 shots. 58 seconds. Clock goes under a minute.
Big foul shots here. Bertie McNeil with a lot of pressure on him, but he's the veteran. 1,400 career points. He's been here before. If you want anybody at the line in this situation, you want Bertie McNeil.
He makes it. Now remember, we pointed out, Wildwood's won 18 sectional championships, and you have to realize Bertie McNeil, with all those fine teams, is the all-time high scorer for Wildwood. 2 big points, 65-62. Jackson has it. It's going to come down court again. Gaines has him this time. Jackson throws it up and in. It counts. He's got a chance for a 3-point play, and he can tie the ball game. 65 all. It's 65-64 with 50 seconds to go.
And the Clayton fans going wild. Carl Jackson has scored 8 consecutive points after being 2 for 16 from the field. He had been no factor offensively, at least putting the ball in the basket, and now he has a chance to tie it.
He doesn't do it, but look at the rebound by Osborne. And the Clippers are up at 47 seconds. 66-65. McNeil has it. McNeil to McCracken. The clock is ticking down to 38. He goes underneath to Bakanowski. Bakanowski drives. The ball's knocked away and out of bounds. Wildwood will control with 33 seconds to play. The Clippers up by 1. Jackson took an elbow in the mouth and he's on the floor. Carl Jackson got elbowed right in the mouth. Neither official called as the ball was bouncing around. No foul call. Is either coach going to call a timeout?
Mike, this has been an incredible turnabout. Clayton was down by 7 points, 63-56.
All right, Tom Ennis, Bob, was waiting for McCracken to call the timeout. He waited as long as he could. He didn't get it from him, so Ennis had to use one up. It'll be a timeout. Go ahead, Bob.
33 seconds to go. Clayton now ahead 66-65 on the rebound basket by Gary Osborne after Carl Jackson had scored 8 consecutive points for the Clippers, and they've come from nowhere, and they've done it with their 2 big guns, Al Anderson and Granger Hall on the bench. Wildwood with the ball under its own basket. And again, we'll look to go for them to go to Bertie McNeil in this pressure situation. Clayton was seemingly no chance to come back from that far down, but they've done it. They did it against Eastern of Washington, down by 15 points, came back, almost pulled it out. They stayed with a fine Atlantic City team that lost by 20 points today to Camden in the Group 4 final, and here they are leading Wildwood 66-65 with only 33 seconds to go, and the Clayton fans on their feet. Defensive assignment's important now, Mike. Nobody can afford to make a mistake. Jackie Wilson on Bernie McNeil.
They go to McNeil. He loses the ball, but McCracken recovers. B.J. Jones underneath, turns around. He misses. Bakanowski fighting. Ransom McNeil gets it. McNeil has it. He loses the ball, kicks it out of bounds. 30 McNeil kicks it out of bounds. 22 seconds to play. Can the Clippers take the air out of the basketball for 22 seconds? And we've got trouble on the court. You don't want any trouble here. All you want to do is calm down and try and kill the ball. Four-corner offense. Tom Ennis is yelling four-corner offense.
22 seconds to go. Clayton with the ball. They lead by 1 point, 66-65.
Osborne's going to take the ball. He'll go to Jackson probably. That's who he'd like to go to anyway. Ransom is just grabbing a hold of Jackson. David Williams gets it. B. Jones, oh, intentional foul. Intentional foul. B.J. Jones with 22 seconds to play. Then, what a strange time to take an intentional foul.
And he made it so obvious. There wasn't any doubt about it. He threw the elbow in. No doubt about it that it was a deliberate foul. He could have fouled him and perhaps gotten away with a one-on-one situation. But by throwing the elbow in, it was an obvious deliberate foul and 2 shots.
David Williams, who's played great ball against Palmyra in the last game. Remember, the Clippers winning 72-68. Now he's got a chance to put him up by 2 and possibly put him up by 3 points. Oh, he misses the first one, a big miss. He's going to want this one, of course. So that Wildwood comes down, the best maybe they can do is tie unless they get a 3-point play. We could be looking at overtime, and that could be very bad for Clayton with Hall and Anderson on the bench. He misses 2 in a row. Wildwood controls it. McCracken, but there's a foul. David Williams reached right in and sends Wildwood to the foul line, and David Williams fouls out of the game.
One turnabout after another. Williams could have put that ball game practically on ice had he made both foul shots. He missed both.
It's quite a situation. 18 years ago, Bernie McCracken comes to Wildwood High School as a young teacher, assistant basketball coach. That year, he has his first son, Bucky McCracken. It's 18 years later. The coach's son, Bucky McCracken, goes to the foul line with 16 seconds to go. He's got a one-on-one situation. He's played almost the whole way here in the second half with 4 fouls. He's got a chance to first tie the ball game and then second put the Warriors up by 1, and they fouled up the clock. Can you believe it?
I think there should be 16 seconds up there.
It was 16 seconds when B.J. Jones fouled, if you recall, Bob. Williams was down and missed it. They're going to put 17 seconds.
17 seconds. Big conference among the officials, Tom Ennis and Bernie McCracken.
I don't know. If you're McCracken, do you want less time or more time? If you're Ennis, do you want less time or more time? Tough situation.
Well, that depends on what Bernie McCracken or Bucky McCracken does in this situation. Bucky McCracken averaging only 6 points a game with only 1 field goal tonight. He's at the foul line, a pressure situation. Carl Jackson goes over and shakes McCracken's hand. I don't know if he's wishing him good luck or not, Mike, in that situation.
They're changing the shooter. They're changing the shooter to Gaines. We saw a situation like this the other night where there was confusion between the officials. Now Joe Eichhorn says, no, it's Kurt Gaines at the line. He's had a great game so far. Remember the other night we thought Jackson was going to the line. Osborne wound up there. Now we expect McCracken. Instead, Gaines goes there.
Nobody knows who's shooting, it seems. Now Gaines going to the line, and he's had a big night. 17 seconds to go. All the pressure in the world on Kurt Gaines' shoulders. 1-1.
He misses it. Osborne has it. And there's going to be a foul. Let's see if they call it intentional. Let's see if they call it intentional. Kurt Gaines fouls. Ennis wants 2 shots. Tom Ennis
Osborne, the right guy to have there.
Is it going to be a 2-shot foul? That's the big question. Clayton may be celebrating just a little too early here, though. 13 seconds to go, and they're just overjoyed. Is it going to be 2 shots? Gaines goes to the bench. Jones comes in.
13 seconds to go. Gary Osborne at the line. We're waiting to see whether he's got a 1-and-1 or 2 shots.
Gary Osborne had some trouble shooting the last 3 or 4 games of the season. They checked him out this week, Bob, after the Palmyra game. He was complaining of headaches. They found out he had an abscessed tooth. Sent him to the dentist yesterday. Had it extracted. He says he's been feeling great ever since. Let's see what kind of help that's going to give him here in this situation.
He'll feel great if he can make the first one of this 1-and-1.
He does. 67 to 65. He's got to drop this one in to really put Clayton in ecstasy. It's going to be a timeout for Wildwood. Remember, 67 to 65. 13 seconds to go. If he misses it, Clayton almost has to avoid fouling to keep any three-point situation from occurring. Or they might want to take a foul, Bob, out high. That's a tough decision for the coaches. Tom Ennis is making that kind of decision right now. Sitting everybody else but down but the ones that are playing. He talks to his assistants. Denny Dennis and Russ Puglia from the freshmen. Ernie Johnson from the JV decides what to do. Bernie McCracken on the other hand. If he has to figure what we do if he misses the shot. Beyond that, if he makes it up by 3, what kind of play do we set up to try and draw a three-point play at the other end? So the coaches are earning their money as usual in the last 13 seconds. That's the name of the game in coaching. You teach your team all year long. You keep it close to the last minute, then I'll win it or I'll lose it. It goes to the coaches in the last 60 seconds.
Osborne with the biggest shot of the season for him. Another foul shot here can put the Clippers up by 3. Only 13 seconds to go. Perhaps the Clippers can afford the luxury of letting Wildwood come down and score without fouling, still have the 1-point lead and eat up the rest of the clock. But remember again, Al Anderson and Granger Hall on the bench with 5 personals.
Let's watch Gary Osborne. He misses the shot. Makanelski has it and goes to McNeil. McNeil, he's going to be called for a foul. Looks like an offensive foul from here. Osborne's called for the foul. There's going to be a lot of people going to talk about that foul for a long time, Bob.
Mike, it looked to me like Osborne had position. Neal driving right into the corner, was going to try to turn in the baseline and take it to the hoop. Osborne knew that, had position on him. McNeil drove him right into the fans, but the foul called on Osborne. Now McNeil with the pressure, and with 8 seconds to go, now we have the very real possibility of overtime.
And certainly McNeil's the one that McCracken would want on the line. He makes the first one. It's only a 1-point difference. 8 seconds on the clock. 67-66. It's Osborne and Washington underneath. B.J. Jones and Mark Bakanowski for Wildwood. Much bigger than those 2 Clayton players. If McNeil misses and the ball bounces out, could they take the rebound and put it in? That's a possibility.
8 seconds to go. McNeil can tie it.
He does it, and Osborne has it again. But there'll be a foul on Jones. Osborne's going to have another chance to do it.
Looked like a jump ball situation. I don't know about that call, Mike, but Osborne with another chance to put it away.
1-on-1 situation. Still 5 seconds on the clock. 67 to 66. If he misses, the question is, does Wildwood have any timeouts left?
5 seconds to go.
Remember the one that McCracken had to call underneath in order to get the ball in bounds without having it turned over. They may have used them all. It's missed. Jones has it. It's out to McNeil. It's a walk. It's a travel. 2 seconds to go. The Clippers have the ball. All they have to do maybe is get it in bounds. The fans are going crazy from Clayton. They love it. It'll be the first sectional title ever in basketball for Clayton. They've never done it before. They were here last year when they were 24-0. Tom Anderson's going to call a timeout with 2 seconds. They lost that game, you remember, to Wildwood last year by 9 points.
Now this has been a remarkable basketball game. Each team has had about a half dozen chances in the last minute to put this thing away, and nobody can do it. But now Clayton, with only 2 seconds to go, with a very real possibility of its first sectional title. Great action in Millville High School. Clayton trying to avenge its only loss of last season, a 9-pointer to Wildwood in the same sectional final game.
Can they get the ball in bounds? They don't. Let's see who they have out there. Carl Jackson, Jackie Wilson, 2 guards. Gary Osborne, Robert Washington. And this Jeff Conley. They've got to get it in yet. They still have to get it in. They're going to throw it all the way down. Jones will get it. He'll throw it to McNeil. McNeil can't make the shot. The Clippers win South Jersey Group 1, their first championship in basketball ever. What a seat. What a sight. The fans love it. The players are just buried inside all these fans from Clayton. Tom Ennis is being lifted high. 2 years, now his record's 48-4. He owns the community. They're going all the way to the locker room. We'll be back in 1 minute after these messages. There's the biggest score in Clayton basketball history on your screen right now. Clayton 67, Wildwood 66. The second year in a row these two teams have met in the South Jersey Group 1 final. The first sectional victory ever for Clayton in basketball. They've got a wild scene in the locker room right now. Bob Shyrock's in there. Let's see if we can go to Bob and get a few interviews with some of the championship players from the Clippers. Bob?
Delirious scene in the Clayton locker room, and I have with me now Carl Jackson, the fine junior guard. And when Clayton was down by 7 points in the last couple minutes, Al Anderson and Granger Hall on the bench with 5 personals, they went to Carl Jackson. Carl, you got the ball when it counted.
Yeah, they Ennis told us go to me and Gary Osborne, and he just gave it to me and it was going in. Wow.
Great tribute to your team, Carl. You're down by 7 points with the 2 big guys on the bench, but you don't quit. You go deep to the bench, the guys come in and do the job. It's a great thing to say for this Clayton team that you could come back that way.
Yeah, we wanted this one bad right here. Wow, because they took us last year, and we wanted it bad, and just everything went for us in the last quarter. Just everybody played well. Everybody. People come up.
Yes, Mike.
I want to remind Carl of his foul shooting last year.
That's
4
right.
for 13 from the foul line against Wildwood. Maybe you want to ask him about that.
Everything was going in for us.
Right. Mike was reminding me you had some trouble foul shooting last year in the sectional final against Wildwood, but tonight, with the pressure on the line, you made the 4 straight foul shots to help pull it out.
Halftime, I was talking to one of my boys that played with me on the court, and Johnson, my coach right here, he told me that I was shooting the ball. I wasn't shooting it, I was just letting it go. And then the second half, I was fouling through, and it was going in.
Right.
Just everything from there went on.
Well, that's a great effort, Carl. I'm sure it's the biggest moment of your career, and you have at least one more game to play, maybe 2.
Yeah, and I got next year, too.
That's great.
And the day of my birthday.
Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. Good job, Carl. Congratulations. Hey, Mike, I'll be looking around for somebody else to talk to. Tom Ennis, the Clayton head coach, is being besieged by newspaper reporters who have those early Sunday deadlines, but we'll get a chance to talk to Tom pretty soon, and I'll see if I can't round up one of the other Clayton players. Back to you for a minute, then we'll come back to me with some more players.
All right, let's hope that Bob Shyrock can get a hold of Gary Osborne. Osborne did a great job tonight. Anderson being played tremendously well, man-to-man defense by Wildwood. He's held to 16 points. Shooting from the field, 7 for 18. Same percentage that McNeil, the big scorer for Wildwood, had. McNeil finishing up with 22 points. But Gary Osborne finishes the night leading Clayton with 18 points. What he's going to remember, of course, are those 2 very, very big rebounds he got at the end of the game. Wildwood's on the line, shooting fouls, and a chance to maybe tie the game up and send it into overtime, or at the very least, maybe take a big rebound and follow it up with a 3-point play and win this game itself. But Gary Osborne, who went to the foul line, had some success in the last minute, also got those 2 big rebounds, did a great job, and he's a player that we want to try and talk to in the locker room. Let's go back and see if Bob's found anybody yet. Bob?
All right, I'm going to be looking for Dave Williams here. Dave had a big ball game tonight.
Russell Puglia.
Russell Puglia limping down the Carter. All right, Russell Puglia is going to try to get me Dave Williams to talk to here in just a minute. Again, the Clippers did it, coming from 7 points behind without Al Anderson and Granger Hall. Tom Ennis showed he can go deep to his bench to help pull one out, and they really did a job tonight. Here's Dave Williams. Dave, congratulations. Dave Williams. Dave, you had a big ball game tonight. You seem to play your best in the big ball games.
During the year, we wanted to get, the Albert, be the big gun, and Mr. Ennis, he told me that if for us to win the states, that I would have to play good. So I waited my turn because I never was a person that had a lot of publicity and stuff. I told everybody playoff time. Playoff
Well, you
time.
made the big contribution against Palmyra in the semifinals with a big first quarter when everybody else was cold. You helped keep the Clippers in the game, and of course another big contribution tonight.
Like everybody told me, I can shoot, so I just, had to prove my point.
You did.
Bob, can you find Tom
I'm just
Ennis in
happy
there?
for everybody.
Right. Good job, Dave.
All right, thanks a lot.
Congratulations. Good luck later on. So looking for Tom Ennis,
What are you looking
Coach Ennis.
All right, well, Bob.
Hilarious scene in the Clayton locker room here. A lot of players, a lot of fans, former Clayton players, everybody in the locker room. It's a great scene. Here's Tom Ennis coming to us. Tom Ennis, head coach, and Tom, I know you've had a lot of sweet victories in your career. Is this number one?
Yeah, this is the best win. Well, the school's never won a sectional championship. And, to win a sectional championship was great. And the biggest thing about it was that we had, Anderson and Hall are great players, but Jeff Conley, Lenny Hall, Jack Wilson, Robert Washington come off the bench. So it's a whole school effort. And I've never seen a fans like that. Our fans were great. They brought us back. I mean, like we're down, I think we're down 7 or 10 when Anderson fouled out.
You were down by 7. You have Anderson on the bench. Then shortly thereafter, Granger Hall goes to the bench. You have to go deep to your bench, and yet you pull it out and win. It really says something about a bench that's been really somewhat maligned, Tom.
Well, these kids work hard in practice. A lot of those kids are seniors and aren't really basketball players. And they realize that. They're more athletes than players. And they work hard at it. Washington works hard. He's not really a great basketball player, but he's a good athlete. Jackie Wilson is a great athlete, good speed, quickness, and all. And he can't shoot well, but he's got great speed. So he really frustrated McNeil at the end. He did the job.
Tom, it looked like when you got down by 7 and you had the timeout that you decided to go to Carl Jackson, and he really did the job.
Well, Wildwood helped us. I mean, we're down 7. I called timeout. I said, we're definitely going to go zone. We're going to try to stuff it inside, back to the basket stuff. But they stayed man. So by them staying man, it gave us opportunity to get 3-point plays rather than 2-point plays. I think that really helped us. I was happy he stayed man because I don't think there's a player that can stop Jackson. That's how I feel. I really feel one-on-one, he's murdered.
Interestingly, he had not had a good shooting night till then. He was only 2 for 16 till he took charge late in the ball game.
Yeah, he's not a jump shooter. He's more of a penetrator. If you can let him penetrate and get you up in the air, he's a tough player that way.
Tom, you did it tonight with Wildwood having done a fine defensive job on Al Anderson. Number 1 scorer in South Jersey, and Granger Hall really not having that great a night. So your team balance really showed tonight.
Well, like I say, Osborne's a great player, great shooter, a good high school player, and Jackson's tough. David Williams can, he'll drill the jumper on you. So we have a well-rounded team. The reason that Hall and Anderson score so much is we go to them. But we could go to other people. You got to go to your best. I mean, Hall and Anderson are Division I prospects and good players, so we stuff it to them. But these other kids can all score.
Tom, you're down by 7. As a coach, I know you feel pretty confident that you can come back, but it had to be a pretty rough moment when you're that far down that late in the ball game.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, I knew we were in trouble, but we had them scouted well enough that I thought that Gaines is a poor foul shooter. And B.J. Jones is a poor foul shooter. So we thought, and the kid who played Anderson, Ransom, is a poor foul shooter. We thought that we could foul them right away, stop the clock and foul them. We didn't want to foul McNeil. We didn't want to foul McCracken. And fortunately, Gaines missed a foul shot. I don't think he was fouled. I think it was the other kid, McCracken, was fouled.
There was some confusion about that, right?
We got to break with the officials there.
Right. Well, Tom, great job. You've done a great coaching job, you and your staff all season. At least 1 more ball game to 2. I'm sure you're hopeful it's 2 more, but you've had a terrific season.
I'll tell you, when you get this close, you need them all. You got to get 2 more.
Tom Ennis, coach of the South Jersey Group 1 champion Clayton Clippers. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Bob. Good job inside. We were here a year ago when we watched Wildwood come up victorious, and they earned their trip to go against the Central Jersey champs. This year, it's a different story. The Clippers finally coming up with their first sectional championship ever. They'll make that trip to play the Central Jersey champion, and Channel 5 will be there to bring it to you. So check your listings. We'll put it on tape, and you'll have a chance to see it at home. Once again, then, Clayton winning their first Group 1 South Jersey sectional championship. They're winners tonight over Wildwood, 67-66. I'm Mike Lindner for Bob Shyrock and Channel 5. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.